Hey everybody, let's try this again. First one, I had the microphone in the wrong spot, so actually I had a different microphone. It was picking up from the camera. So welcome to season 4, episode 36 of Javier in the Air. That's Javier in the Air. If this is your first time coming to the show, welcome. If it's not, welcome as well. So I know we had a lot of drinking in the past couple of episodes, so I'm going to go ahead and change it up this week. We're still going to have our trash in the hood. We're going to have a Zen moment. We'll have a healthy after 50. And we'll have probably something new that I've been working on, and we'll see if I'm going to be able to squeeze that in or not. So I did have a new location for Trash in the Hood for yesterday's walk, which I know I said I wouldn't do other neighborhoods, but since the Takashitas are always nice enough to come with me to go walking, I decided it was probably best to go walk in their neighborhood at least once to pick up trash. And so this is it. They are in Deep Cedar Park, I should say. They are actually off of Main Street, so they are right there in the dead center of Cedar Park. So I thought it would be best to do that yesterday because it's only fair. So here we are. Let's go to Trash in the Hood. Dark Frog Social Media presents Trash in the Hood, week 62. Hey everybody, welcome to week 62 of Trash in the Hood. This is day 1, and as you can see, I picked up some really cool stuff. There was, I'm not sure what that circle is now, some kind of thing for a cigar, and then a really cool little like Scottish Terrier gold-plated, well, it's probably copper, probably not even copper, it's probably just fake, but it looked pretty cool. So I picked that up, plus about 62 cigarette butts. So going into day 3, I found a huge hubcap, wheel cover I should say, a picket, some food containers, a Topo Chico that's sitting in the center of the wheel cover, plus your standard, I think this time it was probably 31, 32 cigarette butts, plus a lot of metal and pieces of plastic and rubber, and a pair of scissors. So it was crazy that I actually found a pair of scissors in the middle of the road. Very unusual. So from there, go into week 5. Week 5, I didn't get to sort till late at night. So as you see, you actually see a cigarette butt in the midst of all the trash. Did get about 61 cigarette butts, and then like a bottle of chocolate milk or strawberry milk or something. I couldn't figure out what it was. Plus some weirdness of bags and trash and metal and plastic and rubber, and a little glue container you can see there in the middle of the picture at the bottom. So very unusual stuff that day. And then that same time that I went out originally to get the trash, I found this little cigarette butt. It was so close to the trash bin. I mean, I'm sure the person tried to chuck it in there, it fell down, they got it, they were about to throw it in again, and there was some emergency. Yes, this is sarcasm. Finally, as I mentioned earlier in the podcast, this was out at off of Main Street in Cedar Park. Main Street to Discovery, and then Discovery up to Whitestone, just about to Whitestone and then back. All that because no one's out there like myself or like fellow listeners and viewers that help out from time to time in my neighborhood. They are just chock full of stuff out there, a huge amount of water bottles and trash and to-go containers, and only about 21 cigarettes, which I was surprised there was any, because this is like in a healthy walking area, but I wasn't surprised that people were just throwing their water bottles willy-nilly. So there you go. From that one was from Deep Cedar Park. So there you have it, a new Trash in the Hood, week 62. So on my walks and travels, had to wet the whistle, everyone, sorry about that. On my treks and travels through my neighborhood, and then yesterday through the deeper part of Cedar Park, or dead center Cedar Park, so to speak, I noticed that my neighborhood seems to have a lower class of trash. And what I mean by that is a lot of vape pens, a lot of to-go, empty to-go containers, and straws and a lot of cigarette butts. Now you go to where my friends the Takashitas live, which is off of Main Street, and you'll see that it's more water bottles and it's more. I think I found some shake protein packets and a lot of healthier trash. Of course, trash is still trash, and you're trash if you throw it out there. But just interesting to see how there's a little bit of a dichotomy between there and here, even though we're probably only 7, 8 miles away from each other. So, and I only get to see this because I am picking up the trash on the thing. But don't worry, everybody. I will be back to just picking up my neighborhood again, and maybe from time to time I might have an extra special walking over there. But I think I still need to. Or I don't. I definitely need to do my neighborhood first and foremost because I live in this neighborhood. I might help the Takashitas to have them start picking up stuff on their on the days that they don't come here, and then we'll see if this takes off. Regardless, I will be picking up trash. Don't worry about everyone in my neighborhood. I will still be picking up trash here. So now we're going to go into our. Let's want to do our healthy after 50 first. This is something that's still in regards to drinking, since we're not going to have any other drinking bits on the show today. I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about it in healthy after 50. So let's go to healthy after 50. Dark Frog Social Media presents Healthy After 50. As I was wetting the whistle in the last one, I'll go ahead and do it for this one. For those of you who are watching that are over 50 and trying to stay healthy, as always, remember to stay hydrated. So today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about drinking. I know I show a lot of drinking on my show, and part of the show is reason why it was founded is because it has to do with drinking. So there is always going to be a drinking component in one way, shape, or form when it comes to Javier in the air. So, however, it is always good to know that one should drink in moderation, especially if you get and after you get to 50. So there's nothing wrong, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with drinking unless you have a drinking problem. If that is the case, please see someone. And if that is the case and you're already dealing with it, good for you. Then this part is not for you. Even though we can talk about it. If you're not drinking at all, that's great. That's probably even better. No reason to start now when you're over 50. And so, but if you are someone who does partake every now and then of alcohol, then this is for you. So we always have to remember that it's great to drink. If you're into that from time to time, it's great to have a drink here or there with family and friends, co-workers, or anything like that, but we need to do it in moderation, especially if you know you already have health problems. So for me, for instance, I do have type 2 diabetes and I do have high blood pressure. So I don't normally drink on a regular basis. I do have my tasting parties that you see, and I do drink there, and I do have the drinking portion of the show where I do drink a beer, but for the most part, during the standard week when I'm here by myself, I don't drink. There's just I grew up in a soda household, not a beer household. So, and of course I can't drink sodas anymore, so that's unfortunate. But I used to definitely would reach for a soda bottle rather than a beer bottle, and that's a good thing. You want to also, if you're over 50 and you want to start trying to taste some of the things that I have on the show. We're all adults here. You need to make that decision for yourself. If you've had a drinking problem, I highly recommend that you don't start up drinking again, because that can lead to other issues. If you have never drunk before, I am not one to try to force you to do anything you don't want to do. However, if you came to me or if you came to someone and said, I want to try this or that, then certainly then that's something that you are making a decision on. But always try to drink on average in moderation. I know my tasting parties, I do go over the average, and it kind of works out for the week itself. I don't drink as much. I don't drink that much during the week, so it kind of balances out. But you also have to remember that you also don't want to go on a drinking binge where you're just like, yeah, I only drink once a week, but then that once a week you drink like 4 or 5 gallons of alcohol. So that's not something you want to do. As always, you also want to stay hydrated with water. So I will drink water throughout the entire tasting party. I will also try my best to drink one of these before I go to bed, which means I drink that entire container before I go to bed. Does that mean I get up a lot to go to the bathroom? Yes, it does. Does it mean that I wake up without a hangover? Yes, it does. So many people swear by different things for hangover remedies. I myself think that 32 ounces of water before you go to sleep helps out a lot. So overall, a drink from time to time is nice. It's great. It's good for celebration. It's good. They do have some that will taste good, and there's nothing wrong with that. So drinking in moderation is always the key. Remember, if you do drink a lot more than that, and you find yourself drinking more and more as you get older, you might want to take a look at what you're doing, and you might want to talk to someone about that. So here we go, everybody. Thanks for listening, and have a good rest of the show. Okay, so there you have it, our Healthy After 50. I know it contains stuff about drinking, but it's not all about drinking. So, and I did have to have some sort of drinking component in the show. And like I mentioned during the Healthy After 50 segment, I don't drink a lot outside of this show. I do a lot for the show, and I do some drinking with Brother Rob. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to lie and say I only do it for the show. There are times when we have a couple of beers here and there, but for the most part during the week, I don't drink. So I'm not touting that one must drink for everything, but if one wants to drink, that's up to them. We're all adults here. But I wanted to bring that up in the Healthy After 50 because some people have asked me what could be some of the repercussions of either starting drinking now or continuing to drink and finding themselves drinking more as they get older. A lot of times people use drinking as a crutch or use it as a way to kind of deal with their problems, which if you're really doing that and you find yourself noticing you're doing that, then maybe you need to talk to someone. But the first thing is you have to notice it. If other people bring it up, more chances are you probably won't listen. I know people are stubborn, including myself, and may not see the forest for the trees. So there you have it. So now, let's put that to one side, and let's go ahead and go to our Zen moment. I'm trying to find different things to put for a Zen moment, so let's see what I can do with this one. Hey everybody, welcome back. That was Books by Jay Anderson, and the music was actually royalty-free music that I get from Wondershare Filmora, which is this editing tool that I use. And that was First Adventure by Lior Sakar. I'm not familiar with the individual. I'm only familiar with that song. So if you want to go, you can rewind and get the name again and look it up. So I have had some questions asked about where I get the music from. So I do use it from an editing software that comes royalty free with my membership. So I don't have to go out and pay additional royalties for the music. And I really hope that they are getting paid well for this. Because I do use this music all the time, the royalty-free music that comes with the software, because that way YouTube doesn't kick my video out and say I have to start all over again, which I have had to do before. So now that we've gone through all that, I have a new section that I'd like to try to bring on and see what you think about it. So before I move to that, I would like to thank everybody for watching the show. Once again, I also want to thank the individuals and subscribers that come to my show all the time. My show is Javier in the air, not on the air, in the air. Also, my YouTube handle is Javier in the air 01, all one word. And if there's anything that you'd like to see on the show, just let me know. If you'd like to be on the show, and there's something passionate that you want to talk about, or you'd like to be a co-host for a day, I am offering that and willing to have anybody and everybody come on my show, and we can talk about just a myriad of subjects, except for the two that we don't talk about. There's enough out there for those two that we don't need to talk about them. Also, if there is a mom and pop shop, or you own a mom and pop shop and you'd like to be on the show, please let me know. In fact, before we go to the news section, I did go to a couple of places this weekend. Let me see if I have the photos, and I'll talk a little bit about them. Okay, so this is Instill Coffee, and this is out on Whitestone, right off of let's see, Whitestone, close to what used to be my dentist's office, but I don't know the actual name of it. But if you go heading towards from, say, Bell on Whitestone, heading towards Anderson Mill, you'll see it on the left-hand side. So this was a great little coffee shop. They've only been open for a couple weeks now, I think maybe a month. They're close to Nervous Charlie's, if that helps you out, the great bagel shop. Great little shop, not very big, but it was busy, and so that was good for them. They offer both coffees and signature drinks, but they also have pastries and regular like breakfast items as well. So what I got, which I found great, was I ordered their chai tea latte, and the lady asked me if I wanted it spicy or sweet, which I've only ever had at one other place before that they've asked me. So I went with it spicy because I really like the flavor of chai, and it went well. Sadly, this was their large, which I drank in just a matter of minutes because I was totally dehydrated. So, but it was a great flavor, and I really enjoyed. So I recommend the chai latte if you go out there. This were some rattan lights that they had up, which I thought were really cool, and so I thought I would put it on the show. So if you have a chance to go out to Cedar Park on Whitestone, heading towards Anderson Mill, you'll see Instill on the left. It's kind of tucked away back there like Nervous Charlie's, but it's good. Now the only downside I had with this place and a couple of other places nearby is that they don't take cash, so be sure and bring your cards. And there you have it, folks. So yes, at that little part at the end, I know some people say I hem and haw on it too much, but it just sometimes it irks me that I can't pay cash somewhere like a regular restaurant or a shop or something like that. Now I totally get it. I talked to the young lady that was in front when I asked her about it, because it wasn't that busy. It was just the Takashitas behind me, so I was able to spend some time talking to her as they were trying to figure out the menu. Um, why they did that. Now it turns out that there has been some crime in the neighborhood, specifically people coming and robbing stores like theirs. And so I get it. I get why you're doing it. It just irks me that I have to do it, which is my problem, not theirs. And it irks me that the crime has come up to the point now that they are so nervous that they are willing to pay the additional fee of swiping the card, which it is a fee, and it's just doesn't matter what the amount is. Every swipe, whatever bank that card is issued from, charges a swiping fee, regardless of what the amount is. Even if the amount was $2, there's going to be a minimum swipe charge, and then they charge a percentage of whatever the amount is. So $2, it may not be much, but say it was $20 or say it was $200. Then that adds up, and who pays for it? You don't see the cost. You being the customer, the the store owner has to do it. So there's a couple of ways to do that. Either they just keep rising the prices as banks rise the price on the charge for swiping, or they eat the cost. Chances are they're not going to eat the cost because that's not good business sense. So they will be charging. They will get charged, and then they will charge us as they push that cost onto the customers, which I don't fault them for at all. If I'm going to get charged by my bank to do business with someone, I'm going to raise the price of whatever service I'm going to offer because I don't want to just lose it in swiping charges. And why is it swiping? Again, because the crime has gotten to the point where people are concerned about having cash on hand. So hopefully that will stop or be a deterrent for some criminals. Probably not. So I get you, Instill Coffee. I get why you're doing it. I'm just not very happy about it. And unfortunately, that also means that from time to time you may raise your prices because you have to, because the banks want their bucket of blood. So anyway, didn't get that section ready that I wanted to do, and I didn't want to try to push it. So I thought I would just end things here. I want to thank everybody for watching the show. Thanks for listening. If you have a chance, get out to Instill Coffee. Once again, I highly recommend their chai tea latte. No, I am not sponsored by anyone. I am not sponsored by Instill Coffee or a boutique that I bring up all the time. This is a free show, and until I actually get thousands of dollars to be a shill for people, I am just doing this for free and because I've been there and I like the places that I've been. So there you have it. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I got this out pretty early, so that's great for me. I'm going to go play some dominoes over at the neighbor's house, and then I have to go log on to work later on. So have a good rest of your Sunday. Have a good work week, and I will see everybody again next time. Thanks a lot, everyone.